Living abroad has completely changed my life, and here are 7 things that have surprised me. I'm Sean, Queen of DC, full-time solo traveler. On this channel, I share travel tips and help women move abroad, guiding them to plan and prepare for a smooth transition. If that's your vibe, subscribe. So let's get into it. Number one, no more rushing. Where do I have to be? I have no place to be, so there's no need for me to rush. Back in my old life, rushing, moving constantly. I couldn't stand still in a line. Oh my goodness, what's taking so long? Putting stuff down, I'll come back later. Now they're like, we'll be with you in a moment. It's fine. I'll even let somebody go in front of me, as long as they're not bogart and trying to make their way without being polite in front of me. I don't have any place to be, so I'm not in a rush to do anything. Whether it's going to the airport, I just wake up 3 hours ahead, do that. So I'm not rushing because airports are crazy. I'm not rushing throughout my daily life. I'm chilling. How long it take for the food? Okay. I'm hungry, but I'm not getting huffy and puffy about it. I'm just like, dang, take a long time for the food. I'll find something else to do. Do you all have something I can munch on now? I don't have anywhere to be. I was in the Lotte Mart. Lady didn't understand. We kept going back and forth with the refund. Lady, I got all day. I'm going to get my refund because this wasn't my fault. It took me about 30 minutes, but I got my refund. If I were in a rush, I would have just huffed and puffed and left. I'm like, nah, I'm going to find somebody in this store to give me my refund. And that's exactly what I did. And I wasn't uptight at all. Me in my old life, it would have got ugly. There's no need to do that. I'm calm, relaxed, chill. I'm not in a rush anymore. And it feels good. Number two, patience. I've gained a ton of patience. As someone living in a foreign country, there's a language barrier. What can I do? I have to have patience. It's not their responsibility to speak to me in English or to jump through hoops to make me understand what they're saying. And you have to have patience. I come across that when there's an issue, something goes wrong. That's when you really feel it. And that's when that patience really comes into play because there's a lot lost in translation and they're just not understanding you. And what I will do, the more there's miscommunication or lack of understanding, your temperature rises. You get a little more antsy, anxious. And what I have to do, I will tell them, please, in body language works, they understand. Can you give me a moment? Can you give me a moment? And this is how I calm down. This is how I take time, figure out, is there a better way to communicate so they understand the issue, the resolution, what you need. It's my responsibility to help them understand the problem and how we can resolve it. And I have to find ways around to do it because there's a language barrier. And that's what I do. I'll just take a time out for myself. Excuse me, one moment. Even if I have to walk away and come back. All right, let me get myself together. Is there something I can do? Open up the translator. Is a better way I can communicate this? It's on me. So I put the onus on me to figure this out. Is there a better way for me to translate this? Do I have to find someone who can help me? Troubleshooting. Is that what you want to call it? I troubleshoot to figure out a better way to communicate with someone if there's a language barrier. Then I can come back with a clear mind, calmness, and say, okay, here's the issue. Here's what's going on. Can you help me? We work it out, but I never want to be obnoxious with that person. They're trying to help me the best that they can, and it's not their fault. You catch yourself, that temperature rising, that voice getting a little bit louder, a little more aggressive. That's when I have to calm down and be like, you know what? Let me take a moment. I'll be right back. And I've seen other people around me, there's a problem and they're going off and they're talking loud and it's just not working out. But they're still not understanding what you're saying. So why are you doing the same thing? Very patient now. And it goes back to you're not in a rush. So I have more patience. I have more tolerance for people. I have more tolerance for people than I leave. I take myself out the situation or I don't be around those situations. But I'm just very thoughtful now. It keeps me in a very thoughtful mind. Thirdly, drinking less. Ugh, I drink less here. In these 3 years, I've noticed I drink less. Listen, in DC, happy hour was a thing. That was a thing. That was my thing for a while. Or just happy hour in my own home. Fridays, I was popping a bottle, my Prosecco, or I had tequila. Always on deck in the freezer. I keep it cold. I would make my little margaritas and I make my drink strong. Ask my friends, I make my drink strong. I always had me a drinky drink. That was my little wind down Fridays or way I relax sometimes during the week. But honey, I would drink to be social. Wine here, my margaritas here, my tequila shots. That was, enjoyable in terms of just, it was a weekly, and my Prosecco, that was a weekly ritual. Here, I don't buy liquor like that. In Malaysia, liquor is expensive, spirits are expensive, so I just go out and get a drink if I want to drink there. In Vietnam, uh, I don't always trust their liquor. I'll just go someplace and have a drink. But at home, I had a whole setup. Here, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. But I just noticed that's something that I don't do here. I can go months without drinking alcohol here. And not like I was an alcoholic or anything, but it was just a part of my Friday enjoyment. It's the weekend, baby. It's my little cocktail hour. I like a little happy hour, a little cocktail hour. We're evolving, we're changing, we're living differently now. If I want something to drink, I'll just go out and have a drink someplace. But it's not the same as having your own setup at home and drinking whenever you feel like it, and making it your rims with a little salt. Honey, my margaritas were good. Let me tell you, me and my boy during the week, we would go, hey, let's go work at the cafe. Sure, but this cafe offered wine. And so we would sit there, get our couple of bottles of wine, do our work, and we'd be working and sipping, working and sipping. I miss those days, Michael. I miss those days. Because that is how we rolled. And we'll get our sandwiches and then have our little chip. And then we was like, oh, let's get our bottle of wine and sit there all day. We would do some work. We would do some work. We would talk. We would have a great time, but we were productive over wine. Number 4, I ask fewer questions. I don't feel the need to ask a million questions about anything. And I think that goes back to number 1, where you're just not in a rush. Number 2, where you just have this patience. You tell me what you tell me. I don't need to ask all these questions before. Now I'm like, who, what, when, where, how, what's going on? Let's figure this out. What do you mean? Now you tell me, I'm just like, oh, okay, okay. And then I think about it and I start laughing. I should have asked, what time are you coming? What does the person look like? What do I need to do? I don't even I don't even have any of that information. I think my mind is just freer. And I don't need to sit up and talk to you and ask you 50 million questions. Once we get there, then I guess I'll figure it out. But that is totally different from how I used to be. I was, you going to have to tell me today A, B, C, D, E so I can prepare. I'll know what's going on and have everything in order. Whatever. Now, with a freer mind, with more patience, I'm not in a rush. I'm not worried about all that. I'll figure it out when it happens. Can you tell? I can't tell you nothing other than this. All they said was they were coming on Tuesday. That's all I can tell you. Well, Sean, what time? Well, who's coming? I don't know all that. I'll have to find out. I wasn't worried about that at the time. I just did it the other day. I guess I should have found out some relevant information. Number 5, I have no winter clothes. I've been in Southeast Asia 3 years. I keep my black puffer jacket with me because I travel with that all around the world. I don't have any sweaters. I don't have any turtlenecks, no corduroys. I don't wear heels anymore. I'm like, you know what? What if I go to the Christmas markets? What if I go someplace cold? I have to buy a whole new wardrobe. Not that I'm looking for any winter clothes. They sell winter clothes in every country I've been to, but I have no need for winter clothes. I like wearing my scarves, but I think I look kind of crazy sitting up here with a scarf on. I probably burn up. I left DC happy that I will not do winters. Don't go any place where you got to do winters, not right now. And I do want to see the Christmas markets. I don't have any winter clothes. Number 6, living without an oven. I loved cooking with my stove back home. The majority of places I stay don't have it. It's not common. I don't cook as much now either, depending on where I am. But I was thinking, I like having a stove. But I've learned to live without it now. Even if you bake frozen pizza, things like that. My freshetta, I think it was freshetta. The little things when I warm food up. I didn't always use a microwave. Last but not least, number 7, something as an American, living in America, I've never thought about. Depending on where you travel, you don't have to worry about it, and sometimes you do. But now I'm very mindful about toilets, about flushing toilet paper. In the US, you flush and you move on. But living in Southeast Asia, it's not that simple. You have to be mindful if the system can flush toilet paper. Are you allowed? The first thing I do is look around for signs. I'm thoughtful. I don't just flush it. Mm-mm. Some systems are set up where it's okay if you flush, but a lot of systems in Southeast Asia are not. But I've been to places, I had stayed in Costa Rica where you couldn't flush toilet paper. Living over here, you're very mindful. Whereas automatic now, it's like, can I flush this or not? Or no. Or now, I just put it in the trash. I'm still an American because I have to be very thoughtful about the habit. Sometimes I automatically do it, and other times I have to catch myself and say, oh, wait a minute. Can I flush this or not? And if I'm not sure, I put it in the trash. That's a habit now. It stays on my mind that I just can't flush toilet tissue. This has taught me to pay attention and be a little bit more considerate. So, those are 7 things that have surprised me about living abroad or living in Southeast Asia. Life abroad really shifts your habits and priorities in ways you wouldn't expect. If you've had similar surprises while traveling or living abroad, I'd love to hear about them in the comments. If you're thinking about moving abroad, check out my How to Move Abroad guide. It's a step-by-step roadmap to help you plan your move abroad the right way. The link is in the description box below, and you can find this information at queenofdc.com. Be sure to comment below. I love hearing your stories. Share this video with someone who may be thinking about moving abroad. Like this video and subscribe. Until next time, y'all. Peace.